7221. Which action is necessary in order to perform a normal descent in an airship? A. Valve gas from the envelope. B. Take air into the aft ballonnet. C. Valve air from the forward ballonnet. The correct answer is A. To perform a normal descent in an airship, the necessary action is to valve gas from the envelope. During a descent, the airship needs to reduce its buoyancy and decrease its altitude. Valving gas from the envelope allows for the controlled release of lifting gas, which decreases the overall buoyancy of the airship. This reduction in buoyancy enables the airship to descend in a controlled manner. Taking air into the ballonnets or valving air from the forward ballonnet are not necessary for a normal descent. These actions are typically associated with specific maneuvers or conditions in airship operations, but they are not directly related to performing a normal descent. In conclusion, valving gas from the envelope is the necessary action to perform a normal descent in an airship. 7222. The purpose of a ground weigh-off for an airship is to determine A. Available lift. B. Static and/or trim condition. C. Trim angle necessary to make an upship takeoff. The correct answer is B. The purpose of a ground weigh-off for an airship is to determine the static and/or trim condition. During a ground weigh-off, the airship is securely anchored or tied down, and its weight and balance are measured. This process allows for the determination of the static condition of the airship, which refers to its weight distribution and balance. By accurately measuring the weight and balance, adjustments can be made to ensure the airship is properly trimmed for flight. Trimming an airship involves achieving a balanced state where the distribution of weight and control surfaces allows for stable and controlled flight. The ground weigh-off provides crucial information about the static condition and helps determine any necessary trim adjustments before the airship takes off. 7223. Which takeoff procedure is considered to be most hazardous for an airship? A. Not using an upship takeoff when the airship is more than 200 pounds heavy. B. Maintaining 50% of the maximum permissible positive angle of inclination. C. Maintaining a negative angle of inclination during a wheel takeoff after elevator response is adequate for controllability. The correct answer is C. The takeoff procedure that is considered to be most hazardous for an airship is maintaining a negative angle of inclination during a wheel takeoff after elevator response is adequate for controllability. During a wheel takeoff, the airship is lifted off the ground while still in contact with the landing wheels. Maintaining a negative angle of inclination means that the nose of the airship is pointed downward during the takeoff roll, which can be dangerous. When the elevator response becomes adequate for controllability, it is expected that the nose of the airship will be raised to a positive angle of inclination, allowing for a smooth transition from ground contact to free flight. However, if the negative angle of inclination is maintained, it can result in an unstable and unsafe takeoff situation. Maintaining a negative angle of inclination during a wheel takeoff can lead to difficulties in controlling the airship's pitch attitude, decreased lift production, and potential loss of control. It increases the risk of a nose-down or unstable flight condition, posing a significant hazard to the airship and its occupants. Therefore, the correct answer is maintaining a negative angle of inclination during a wheel takeoff after elevator response is adequate for controllability. 7224. A heavy airship, flying dynamically with air ballasted forward to overcome a climbing tendency and slowed down for a weigh-off prior to landing, will be very nose-heavy. This condition can be corrected prior to landing by A. Ballasting air aft. B. Discharging forward ballast. C. Dumping fuel from the forward tanks. Air must be ballasted aft to overcome the bow-heavy condition. The correct answer is A. To correct the nose-heavy condition of a heavy airship flying dynamically with air ballasted forward, the appropriate action prior to landing is to ballast air aft. When an airship is flying dynamically, It can experience a climbing tendency due to various factors such as wind or thrust. To counteract this climbing tendency, air is ballasted forward, which helps to shift the center of gravity forward and stabilize the airship. However, this forward ballast can cause the airship to become nose-heavy, especially when slowing down for a way-off prior to landing. This nose-heavy condition can adversely affect the airship's controllability and landing characteristics. To correct the nose-heavy condition, the airship pilot should ballast air aft. By transferring air from the forward ballon to the aft ballon, the center of gravity is shifted aft, balancing the airship and restoring proper trim. Therefore, the correct answer is ballasting air aft. 7273. As a weight-shift aircraft wing approaches a stall, the wing tips. A. Decrease the wing's angle of attack. B. Act in much the same way as ailerons on a 3-axis aircraft. C. Increase the wing's angle of attack. The correct answer is A. As a weight-shift aircraft wing approaches a stall, the wing tips decrease the wing's angle of attack. In weight-shift aircraft, such as hang gliders or trikes, the wing's angle of attack is adjusted by shifting the weight of the pilot or by using control bars connected to the wing. When the wing approaches a stall, which is the point of maximum lift and minimum airspeed, it is important to prevent the wing from stalling to maintain control and stability. When the wing tips of a weight-shift aircraft approach a stall, they typically have a tendency to rise or lift higher than the rest of the wing. This can lead to an increase in the wing's angle of attack, which is the angle between the wing's chord line and the oncoming airflow. However, to prevent the wing from stalling and to maintain control, the pilot must decrease the wing's angle of attack. By shifting their weight or adjusting the control bars, the pilot can lower the wing tips and decrease the wing's angle of attack. This helps to reduce the risk of stalling and allows the pilot to maintain control over the aircraft. Therefore, the correct answer is decrease the wing's angle of attack.